From a model standpoint, this is essentially the beginning of the educational process. My goal is to have a gemological school in Ratnapura. I have to reach out to multiple sources to help develop this. One will eventually be GIA, especially as far as sourcing all the laboratory equipment that I would need. And I'm reaching out to other trade organizations here in the US and also to the Sri Lankan government. I think I will help with the infrastructure, I will help with my time, but I will also need help to get things moving. And leaning on different people, different organizations for their expertise is probably the fastest way for me to get there. And so the gemological school is important, helping getting a formal education for the next generation is important. Through GIA, Bangkok is 4 hours away, flight. So that's something that I'm also incentivizing the guys that I'm training and telling them, look, getting your children, if they want to be in the trade, getting them a proper formal education is only going to make things easier for you. Number one is communication. If they're speaking English and they know the right terminology, that's key to sales. And they're not going to learn that terminology in Ratnapura, in Sri Lanka. So being able to communicate effectively has to come from education. It's not that, I think there's some very good theoretical gemological schools in Sri Lanka currently, but eventually we want to be able to bring this gap, between the East and West together. And communication is the problem. I'm basically facilitating that right now, but I'm hoping at the end of my life that's fixed, and it possibly could be. It's a unique ability for me to fall back on what brought me here. If I'm willing to put the time and effort and finance into building this, gemology will be the path, but the eventual goal would be also to understand human beings, understand, this is someone who essentially had to leave the country, who started this, and he's coming back to give back and help everyone. It's not just my race, but it's everybody. And giving back, and in one way or another for the children to understand why it's being done is important. So we're bridging gaps, racial, religious, and cultural. And it should be done educationally because, we're able to offer an education which is going to be sustainable well past just 1 year, but that could be their career. And at the same time, help them understand how we think over here. And, judging is a part of day-to-day life over there, but identifying how to judge and who to judge is a different story. So that can also be incorporated into their education. The most important thing is the person. Anyone who's willing to give me the time and effort, I can train. The fact that they came with an education is 100 times better. It makes the information that they're processing go a lot faster. I'm grateful for Chloe. She stepped in about 2 weeks ago and she hit it running. And I threw a lot of information at her and she just absorbed it. I've never seen anything like it. And, I've actually even told people, she reminds me a lot of me when I got into it because I had to. And maybe she has to as well. And I think the faster you can understand, the better you're able to learn. The more solid her educational background, more repetition she gets, the better off she's going to be. So, her background from GIA, she always speaks so highly of it. And right now I have 3 employees in my booth, all GGs. And I'm extremely grateful for them and their background. And I can step away without having any concern. And I'm confident in that. And specifically with Chloe, she takes charge. I throw a lot of responsibility at her because I don't doubt her. She learned quickly and she's capable. And it's also another part that I want to see improve is women in the business, in our industry. I think bringing some balance to that, especially in the source side. Yeah, I go to Louis Rough Markets, it's 5,000 men in the mornings at 5 a.m. and it can be intimidating. And I'm in a position today that I feel that my voice can carry, and I've worked 10 years for it, and I'll bring about change. I'll do it.